Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're gonna be looking into the Hulk, quite possibly one of the most powerful Marvel characters to ever exist. He is well known for his trademark ability to get more powerful the angrier he gets. He has been compared to Doomsday from DC Comics and Broly from Dragon Ball Z because of their similarities. Like Goku and Superman alike, the Hulk also has many different versions of himself from different timelines or universes that have different levels of power than normal. One of these is the Hulk from the Space Punisher storyline, which came out a couple years back, and he is quite possibly the most powerful iteration of the Hulk to ever exist. So the question is, how powerful is this Hulk really? Would he be able to take down beings like Thanos, Beerus, Galactus, or even Doomsday? What accomplishments does he have to show us? Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose.
Now hold up guys, before we actually break down the power of this Hulk, we need to debunk some misconceptions and gauge where his weaker iterations are. Now I don't really know why, but for some reason most Hulk fans seem to overhype the World Breaker Hulk a lot. Like they think he is like one of the most powerful characters in fiction simply for his feat of like wiping out a planet in a fist fight. Now for someone who is like a normie or has never really, done a versus debate, they might think that it is really impressive. But when it comes down to it, that feat isn't really impressive. To really gauge where the Hulk is at, you need to go by scaling. And in regards to power scaling, sure, it isn't like as simple as it is for Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, but it is still very possible in comic books. You simply just have to go by the consistency of the feats that have been shown to us over the years. Now guys, trust me on this one, okay? The Hulk is a lot more powerful than he looks. I mean, he's been able to consistently contend with characters like Gladiator, the Silver Surfer, Thor, and even the Sentry, like many times. So to get an idea about how powerful these guys are, they have all shown star to multi-solar system levels of feats, which means that they should be in those Buu Saga levels, give or take. For example, Gladiator has been able to like crush entire black holes with his bare hands like really casually. While the Silver Surfer and Thor have actually survived star systems blowing up on them without any injury. And keep in mind, these two guys have been able to like fight each other and even harm each other many times before. Now the Sentry is referred to as being the Marvel Superman, but he is actually more so like Martian Manhunter, plus the Hulk, plus Thor, plus Majin Buu, and so on. I mean, he has a lot of abilities and he is really hard to put down. The Sentry has been confirmed that if he really wanted to and misuse his power, he could actually very well wipe out the entire solar system. And according to one particular origin story, it has been implied that he actually does have the literal power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. And yeah, you could probably take it as being hyperbole, but I mean, he has been shown to like literally dig down Ares and Thor, who have been shown being as comparable to the Surfer, so logically speaking, the Sentry would also scale to them. Oh yeah, and guys, keep in mind that the Hulk fought against the Sentry to a standstill while holding back before even reaching his World Breaker Hulk status. So I believe it is very clear that since Hulk can, contend with these guys and take hits from them, that he should also scale to those multi-solar system levels of durability and attack potency very easily. Now that we have gone over how powerful and durable the Hulk really is, why not go over his abilities as well? The Hulk has shown counters to mind and matter manipulation several times before, but his ace would actually have to be his high-speed regeneration, making him really hard to kill and injure as well. He has even shown adaptation like Doomsday because he's developed the ability to breathe underwater and has even been implied to breathe in the vacuum of space. And for some reason, a lot of people think that the Hulk is really slow, but nope, the Hulk is not slow either. He's actually been able to keep up in combat against the Silver Surfer, Thor, Gladiator, the Sentry, and many other characters that have shown massively faster than light combat speeds and travel speeds alike. For example, the Silver Surfer has actually been able to like cross millions of light years in mere moments. He actually like traveled from a distant galaxy to the planet Earth in about the time it took Mr. Fantastic to actually reach his lab. Even if we said it took Reed like an hour to reach his lab, Norrin would still be traveling at over 22 billions of times the speed of light, if we were to assume that he traveled from the Andromeda Galaxy, which is a whopping 2.5 million light years away from the planet Earth. Hulk has also been able to keep up in combat and beat the shit out of Gladiator, and I mean, this guy's really powerful and fast as well. Gladiator has been able to like fight off against Hyperion in about a couple of nanoseconds, and he could even track and follow like scrolls in a short period of time through galactic distances. If the Hulk is able to like keep up in combat and, damage these guys, then he should also have combat speed reaction times, comparable to them as well. Now, Worldbreaker Hulk is an absolute wimp compared to the Hulk from the Space Punisher storyline. In this alternate reality, the Marvel Universe is like in an advanced space age, and many of the characters look vastly different from their 616 and 16 tank counterparts alike. Now, I am not gonna get into the whole like Space Punisher storyline, you can read it for yourself, it is really short anyways, but basically, this Hulk, this Bruce Banner was unlike any other one we've ever seen before. He was hellbent on killing everything in sight. He utterly stomped out the Fantastic Four, like he killed all of them. He ripped off the Thing's arm and beat the shit out of the Human Torch with it. He also ate Sabretooth, and he also like punched Deadpool so hard that his head came flying off into outer space. So as the Hulk was actually going through his rampage, he was stated to be as much of a threat to the universe since Galactus. Now the interesting thing about this storyline is that Galactus was actually killed off by the Avengers in this reality through unknown means. Now killing Galactus is definitely not an easy feat because he actually ranks above the Sky Fathers and should be comparable to Celestials who have easily shown universal to even low multiversal level feats. For example, Odin could actually face off against Seth, like they were gonna wipe out galaxies, they threatened to wipe out the living universe, and it was even stated that they were actually tearing at the fabric of the Marvel multiverse. Keep in mind, Odin was weakened when he actually did this feat. Odin could also nullify a fire that was actually gonna wipe out the World Tree, which has been confirmed to have a maybe infinite amount of realms. Many of these realms could very well be universe-sized or of comparable size, and they have their own space and time continuums, their own cosmos, and also their own, I guess you could say, celestial bodies. And believe it or not, even as powerful as Sky Fathers and Odin are, they are still ranking below Galactus in the raw power and ability departments. So I believe it is very clear that going by the narrative and the statement, they want to imply that Hulk is as powerful as Galactus and not even more. And I would also like to mention that according to Frank Thierry, who's actually the writer for this storyline, he confirmed that this Galactus was just as powerful as any other one. And someone might say, oh, it is just a hyperbole, it is just a meaningless statement, but I mean, the Hulk does something at the very end of the story that only someone more powerful than the Sky Father, or in this case, comparable to Galactus and the Celestials, would actually be able to do. So at the end of the story arc, the Punisher actually baited the Hulk to get to his location using a signal that was really uncomfortable to his ears, and he got there by literally running through space. Like, who knows how the hell that works, but he deadass did it anyways. So once the Hulk actually got to Punisher's location, he brutally killed 6 Watchers with absolute ease. And if you have no clue how powerful the Watchers are, it might not seem that impressive until we dive deeper, that is. So I'm not gonna lie, but Watchers are typically really hard to scale because of their pacifist nature. As their name suggests, they typically observe conflicts and battles that take place, but they rarely if ever become personally involved. However, Uatu, who is like the most well-known Watcher, has actually broken this oath many times in order to try to save the Earth and other civilizations. So going off of him and other sources, we can actually try to piece together of how powerful the Watcher race really is. First of all, it's actually been confirmed in the Marvel guidebooks that the Watchers actually possess power comparable to that of the Sky Fathers like Odin, Vishnu, or even Zeus. Uatu has even stated before that Galactus is one of those very few characters that can match his power or that can logically surpass his power entirely. In one of the early Fantastic Four issues, Uatu actually broke his vow and decided to face off against Galactus, and he did lose in the end, but it is still really impressive because not many characters are able to contend with Galactus for a decent amount of time. I mean, even Odin did so and failed in the end. I would also like to mention that according to the classic Quasar issues, that even like the fodder or like the nameless Watchers can survive the collapse of an entire universe. So basically whatever information or anything that a Watcher saw like in the past universe, he would carry on over to the new one that would come after the old one fell. And Uatu is certainly more powerful than the average Watcher because I mean he is like the most well-known one and he's also regarded as being like one of the highest ranks out there. Now, if you are still not convinced that the Watchers are actually really damn powerful, it has actually been confirmed that the Celestial race and the Watchers have been at war for countless millennia, and the Celestials are really crazy powerful. To give you guys an idea about how powerful the Celestials really are, even like the fodder, the cannon fodder, like the lowest ranked Celestials, the gum of the shoe, are more powerful than any Sky Father. In the classic Thor comics, even the combined effort of Vishnu, Zeus, and Odin, a combined blast was not able to even do anything, even cause a single dent in Arishem the Judge, who is not even the most powerful Celestial out there. He literally took their hit, he didn't give a shit. So instead of Arishem actually killing off the Sky Fathers, he said, okay, I will spare you and your realms, but you need to like not intervene in celestial affairs for at least a millennia. So basically Arishem made 3 Beard's level beings cut down to him for 1,000 years. So yeah, that is really crazy indeed. So during that millennia, Odin actually prepared, he made like a destroyer armor, he put his soul into it and the power of every single Asgardian, minus Thor, and set out to face off against the Celestials. So even as powerful as this armor really was, it was not even able to like permanently damage, much less kill a single Celestial, even the lowest ranked ones. And keep in mind that Exitar the Executioner, who's also one of the really powerful Celestials out there, needed to gather energy for millennia just for being able to wipe out the Watcher race. But anyways, the point is that the Watchers should easily scale to like the Sky Fathers and maybe even the lower ranked Celestials. This means that they should easily be low multiversal, maybe even higher depending on where you really gauge them to be at. And even so, the Hulk still kills 6 of them casually. Now, a typical counter-argument that I've seen before is that people say, oh, well, like the Watchers are pacifists, they don't want to defend themselves, which I mean is totally right? Psych, you thought? The 6 Watchers actually revealed that they did not want to take any part in the Oath, so they would become personally involved. So they would have no reason to not defend themselves whatsoever in that situation. Now, author confirmations or author statements aren't always like the most reliable unless they don't directly contradict the storyline or the, scaling in this case. But I did ask Frank Thierry, who's the writer, and I said, hey, so how powerful is this Hulk really? Is he like more powerful than Sky Fathers? Is he like Celestial level? And the answer he gave me was pretty vague, but he basically said that the Hulk should be as powerful as I want him to be. Now, this answer isn't like the most concise, the most clear, but I think that going by the narrative and, the feats that I've given you guys, I think it is really clear that this Hulk should easily be more powerful than Sky Fathers, the Watchers obviously, and should easily be comparable to the Celestials. So in retrospect, going by all the evidence I've shown, I think it is really clear that this Hulk should easily scale to being low multiversal, maybe even mid multiversal if you want to imply he's right up there with the Celestials. So yeah, I think I made a really good case as to why this Hulk is the most powerful one in all of history. However, I would definitely love to see what you guys have to say on the matter, and yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you thotties next time. Peace out.